In many companies, new teams are constantly being formed. Special projects are launched, and priorities seem to shift. But often, this flurry of activity does not result in any new products or services. This is not a sign of chaos. It is the visible outcome of a specific organizational strategy, one that forces a choice between predictability and adaptability. This experience is common in modern organizations. They often exist in a state of near constant change, assembling new teams, task forces, and projects to respond to emerging requirements. The puzzling aspect is that this activity often occurs without producing a tangible new product or service, which can create the perception of unproductive internal movement. This leads to a central question. If not for building new things, what is the purpose of this constant reorganization? To understand this phenomenon, we must first examine the traditional organizational model. The classic model is the bureaucratic or functional structure. In this model, an organization is divided by specialization, and it operates with a clear hierarchy and a defined chain of command. The key characteristics of a bureaucracy include clearly defined roles and responsibilities, a hierarchical structure, standardized procedures, and a top-down flow of communication. This system is designed for a specific purpose, to maximize efficiency and predictability within a stable, unchanging environment. This traditional model, however, faces significant challenges when the environment is no longer stable. Modern business environments, which are often complex and fast-changing, demand that organizations solve novel problems and innovate rapidly. In a dynamic environment, the features that make a bureaucracy efficient become liabilities. Rigid communication pathways can make the organization slow and inflexible. Functional silos often prevent effective cooperation and knowledge sharing, and a strong emphasis on standardized procedures can discourage creativity and innovation. In response to these pressures, a different kind of organizational structure has emerged. This response is known as an adhocracy. An adhocracy is a flexible, adaptable, and informal organizational model defined by its lack of a fixed formal structure. It operates as the functional opposite of a bureaucracy, as it is designed for change rather than for stability. A comparison of the two models highlights their fundamental differences. Where a bureaucracy has a rigid hierarchy, an adhocracy uses a network of teams. Defined roles are replaced by more ambiguous ones to allow for greater flexibility. Communication also shifts from vertical, or top-down, to horizontal, enabling information to flow more freely across the organization. The core principle of an adhocracy is the shift of power away from a fixed hierarchy. Instead, authority is vested in specialized, temporary teams that are formed to solve specific problems as they emerge. The primary tool used to make an adhocracy function is the cross-functional team. A cross-functional team is composed of individuals with different functional expertise, for example, from marketing, operations, and finance. They are assembled to work toward a single common goal. The operation of these teams follows a clear pattern. Specialists from different departments are brought together to address a specific, complex problem or opportunity. Information is encouraged to flow multidirectionally among the members. Once the objective is met, the team is usually disbanded. This explains the initial puzzle. The goal of these teams is often not to build a new product, but rather to solve a complex internal problem, improve an existing process, or coordinate a response to a change in the market. This flexible, adaptive system is not without its costs. It involves a series of inherent trade-offs. The downsides of the adhocracy model are well documented. The high degree of collaboration requires significant time for communication and coordination. While flexible, ambiguous roles can create uncertainty for employees. The lack of a clear hierarchy can sometimes lead to internal power struggles. Finally, decentralized decision-making can result in outcomes that appear inconsistent. These consequences are not considered system failures. Instead, they are understood as the accepted costs of achieving greater organizational flexibility and the capacity for innovation. The key takeaway is that the constant creation of new teams is a feature of an organizational system. This system deliberately sacrifices predictability in order to gain adaptability, which is necessary to operate in complex and rapidly changing environments.